Hey everyone, Mondo Gonzales here. I wanted to give an update about the Red Heifers. In the last few days, really this whole week, there's been a lot of information that has come out. And there's really three sources, I would say, that are very, very helpful. One is the Temple Institute itself, which you can get information on their Facebook page. The other one is Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz, who writes for Israel 365 News. He's been following all of really the temple projects and the temple developments for many, many years. And the other one, of course, is Byron Stinson, who is the American leader of the Bona Israel group. So what has happened? Well, a few days ago, actually about 2 weeks ago now, Byron had posted a video of a ceremony that took place, which was clearly not on the Mount of Olives. It was in Samaria. And what you saw there was just a 5-second video of a cow burning. And it was posted on a couple other channels. Well, that was kind of it. And then since then, there was a Temple Institute report saying that they were acknowledging that the 5 cows, the 5 red heifers, I'll say it that way, that came over September 15th of 2022 were no longer qualified. So there's been a lot of reaction to that, whether it's people believe it or not, whether they are telling the truth. And at the end of the day, there's no doubt that when you look at the whole situation over the past few years, these cows are almost 4 years old now. They were born in October of 21, and we know that there's no upper age limit. So a lot of people wonder, well, did maybe these cows that were disqualified, maybe they were disqualified because of too many non-red hairs? Well, maybe the hair would fall out, and that's all possible. But the fact that they're saying this, I think there's a couple things going on. Number one, I think that they're trying to minimize the attention that is taking place around the red heifers. Secondly, in their Facebook post, they made the comment that they can't always be fully transparent, which that's kind of been my thinking from the beginning, is how can you have these cows, these red heifers out in Shiloh where they're accessible to be harmed? And so that was always a question. But secondly, we had that post from the Facebook Temple Institute page. Well, then Adam wrote another article about it, which happened yesterday. And in his article, he simply just discussed pretty much what the Temple Institute said. He's a journalist, so he was reporting the news. And then subsequent to that, Byron had posted a longer video, which was very fascinating, of the July 1st ceremony, this practice ceremony that they had up in Samaria. It was interesting because there was a lot of, again, way more than just a 5-second video. And his perspective on it is that it was a legitimate ceremony that was done with a Kohen, a priest, that was done with a very qualified red heifer. He recognized that it was not done on the Mount of Olives, that it was done in Samaria, which, according to the book of Numbers, which is outside the camp. And so, according to what he is saying, it would follow all of the biblical commands. Now, as he also acknowledged, rightfully, Byron knows his stuff, that it just doesn't follow all of the oral traditions of the rabbinic traditions. So he acknowledged that. So he also posted again a response saying that, will it be accepted by everybody? No. He knows that. Will there be another one on the Mount of Olives? Probably. And I think, from my perspective, understanding the rabbis as well, and what I wrote about in my book, the mystery of the red heifer, I documented all of it. So if you really want all the details of what it is, this is not going away. Even though these 5 are said to be not qualified, it's not going away. These 5 are going to be put into the breeding program there's only 4 left, but they're going to be put into the breeding program within Israel, no doubt, for the other, because they're 99% pure. So they're not going to lose that genetic material. But secondly, as we look forward, the rabbis, I don't believe for 1 second, will allow a non-Mount of Olives ceremony to take place. It's in the Mishnah, which they consider to be oral tradition, which they consider to be authoritative. It's referenced in the Talmud. It's referenced by Maimonides, a basically medieval ages authoritative figure. So this is very important. So again, I give all the background of my book. I'm not trying to necessarily sell books, but if you want the information, it is all there with all the sources. You don't have to know the Mishnah or find it or anything else. But as we look, what's next? Well, what's next is simply just waiting to see what is going to happen with future Red Heifers. I know at the time, back in 2022, there were at least a dozen more that were in the wings. And so the ranchers in Texas and other places have not stopped breeding these Red Heifers. So stick around, pay attention. It's not going away. We know that the third temple is in movement. The other thing that happened recently, I'll just mention as well, is that you had Itamar Ben-Gvir go up on Tisha B'Av onto the Temple Mount, dancing and singing and praying. That was extremely unusual. One of the things I wrote about in my book was that what we've been seeing over the past 30 years is a shift of the status quo of the Temple Mount. And what we're seeing over the last 6 to 8 months has been even more impressive. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys an update. Keep a lookout. Things are happening. We'll catch you next time.